Shadowrun, Out of Nest, and on Edge. We are on mission 8 of the London area. And, wait a minute. What the fuck just happened here? Why did Killjoy and Carbon Copy decide to fuck off?
I moved them like a few minutes ago.
But why? Why did they leave the group?
So I can have them separately. So I can see them.
But they're one and the same. You're dividing them.
No, they're still the same. I just haven't decided which one is in control with the start of it.
And where the fuck is Thrax going?
I'm going home.
I want to stand on the dots with the dragon.
Oh, that's right.
Fine,
Thrax
does
has
that appease your OCD?
If I recall correctly, Thrax has an enemy, right?
Yes, an unknown lady enemy.
What's the incidence rating on that?
1 second, I'll look it up. So the incidence rating is 2.
Thank you kindly. Anybody else have a negative quality we need to hash out at the beginning of the session? Oh yes, Voin, or mutations. Do I have Voin's sheet handy anywhere? Well, I might. Okay, so... Right. So her gene-crafted mutations. Let's take a quick look at the notes here. We'll have to determine what you gained at the end of mission 5. So for that, you will roll. Your edge is currently 4. How many mutations we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Loading the tab is taking forever. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. I might need to reboot it. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we round down or round up? Round down. Okay, so you will roll 2 SR4, please, Kara.
Good job.
Okay, and we will have to roll a big whopping number from the Voin chart of 1d79. And just for shits and giggles, at least we didn't confirm Nurgle. Oh shit! Oh shit! You got the big one, Kara. You just rolled like the best result. Yep. Voin is. Oh wait, ooh, that might not work. Just a second. So.
That's what I thought.
Wait, what now?
Pass
What
like
I
a chance to set it up to roll 1d69?
No, but 79 entries exist for potential mutations. I'm not going to remove 10 of them just for some silliness. And yeah, Kara, so this is possible for Voin, but it will mean her essence will take a somewhat sizable hit, but she's still technically within the not completely off her deep end. No, her synaptic booster is upgrading to the full rating 3, which means she now has 4 initiative passes instead of 3.
Would it be a spoiler to learn how low her essence is by now?
I'll allow Kara to make that decision.
Because I'm just curious now at this point.
But do you want others to know what essence level she has, is the question. 0.72.
That's pretty darn low.
This latest thing just cut a whole half essence off of that, though. She used to be at 1.22. But, right. Kara, you now have to roll 1d2 to determine if you're losing a quality mutation or a Bioware mutation. It'll be a quality mutation, which you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of right now. So roll a 1d6 and we'll decide which one of them is getting the... So the first one, ooh, Arcane Arrestor. Poor you. You're going to be vulnerable to magic again. Now roll another 1d6 to determine if it's temporary, permanent, or permanent and the inverse application of the bonus becoming a penalty. All right, so it's temporary. Just for this mission, you will not have Arcane Arrestor. So if someone casts a spell on you, the spell will be at full power.
Dealing with Killjoy right from the bat.
It's a me, murderer.
Wait, I thought you were an artist with paintbrushes.
Just remove the T. Oh, come on. Did nobody... I was expecting at least somebody to respond to that. Like,
I chuckled, but
I'm still
muted.
thinking. Yeah, I don't get it.
Remove the
Oh.
T from paintbrush, you get paintbrush.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
it's a
top
reference to
artist.
Dragon Ball Abridged. When Frieza's talking to Piccolo and says, "You ever play paintball?" "Yeah." "Just remove the T. I don't get it." And then he gets shot. "Oh, I get it."
I probably missed that joke in the episode.
Okay. Was anybody else needing to do prep time for any of their characters? Or shall
Do I
we-
need to roll for my enemy thing, or have you done that?
I did. I
Okay.
did that in secret. Mwahaha. But Pirate has plenty of issues, just none that we have to roll for right now.
I'm pretty sure we have nothing to roll for Irenial as well.
All of her negative qualities are
Lost loved one in monophobia.
afraid of being alone. Okay. And Prodigy, I don't think we have anything to roll for. Great.
No.
Okay. So originally I had it that this was going to be Professor Yeagle as the fixer, but on second thought, that doesn't make all that much sense. So we're thinking maybe Mary Morgan instead. Thrax, you were on the Mary Morgan job.
Yep, I have her as a contact.
I don't think any of the rest of you were, however.
Nope.
Thrax, you also don't have a hell of a lot of connections with any of the others in this group. I think Thrax has met Voyn and Pirate, obviously. Pirate, I think. No? Yes?
The last mixer. Where Kacho was exposed by Okami.
We'll say feelers were put out, and eventually the
Is
connections
this-
were made.
Thing not on?
No, we heard you.
Okay. Yeah, Pirate knows Prodigy, Irenial, and Dea. And Killjoy.
But does Thrax know?
Well, Thrax knows Pirate through the last meet and greet. The last party at runner party at the Hammersmith when Okami outed Katya. Thrax was there too.
And I know
Just tell me when
Durandal.
you're
I know
done.
Durandal from that party as well.
Okay.
Sorry,
And
what was that, a Bobob? A Bobob?
Yeah, you might want to mute Bobo if you don't want it. Because your coughs were coming through loud and clear.
And also there for that last meeting at the Hammersmith, Thrax met Irenial and Durandal, as well as Pirate.
Yes, I believe so.
So Thrax at least knows 3 out of us, and I know 2 of us also know Prodigy.
Plus, what about that walkthrough of the we did with the Dapper Dork?
Sorry, what about the Dapper Dork?
When we went back to the church, or the church ruins where he fell in. I know Thrax was there for that. I'm trying to remember who else was.
No one else from this group. However, Thrax with the... Oh, no, Pirate wasn't there for that either. Okami was. In any event, we'll just say it worked out somehow. And the Johnson for this job is a pixie by the name of Hudalia. Hudielith? Hudiad? Everyone can take a guess at how to pronounce this.
Totally.
HUD.
So the Pixie will want to meet with all of you at what she calls the Standing Stones, and what you will discover to be an underpass that has been demolished, reconstructed twice before. So there are some concrete pillars of the old underpass that sort of make a stone circle. And this will be in the west end. And actually, Pirate, you will recognize as this being an area relatively close to where Sybil brought you down into that underground steamy area.
What you're chuckling about?
I can only imagine.
So who was reading for Pirate?
I was elvish piece of burnt gluten-free cookies. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think we need Grim here for that one to really have an impact. But Erenial, you are an elf. Pirate, do you say this loud enough for Erenial to hear you?
Be more careful. I might get hurt.
And so is. Ooh. Yeah, especially since Killjoy is also an elf, I think.
Yeah?
Killjoy is a Killjoy. Carbon Copy is an elf.
Well,
Is
deep
Killjoy
down,
identified?
Killjoy is an elf. Not that he actually identifies as one.
Killjoy
You
wears
said.
an elf as his skin, basically.
He has those physical traits.
Oh,
That's
and
how far.
will Prodigy be here in person, or will Prodigy send his drones to this meet? That's Brado.
Given that I have promised to keep Prodigy alive, and that it's dangerous, and that Prodigy's not particularly social, all of that would point to he will start with the drones.
Okay. Durandal will say, I cannot risk this mission going poorly. She muses out loud. Yeah, so all of you will be coming to the stone circles, quote unquote, other than Prodigy, obviously.
Yes, I would have a quick question. Actually, two quick questions. One, what time would we be expected there? And two, how is Phobos doing after the ambush that we suffered while I was away?
Right.
'Cause he got fucked up in that, I believe.
Yes, but this is going to be on the 29th of May. And when was that job? That was... Does anyone remember the day on that one?
Sorry, I was not there, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know what day it was specifically.
God, it might have even been April. Let's check April. Not seeing it. double. Well, we will say it happened when it happened. I think with medical attention, your dog will be healed now. That is not a pun.
Okie doke. So what time would we be expected to get to the standing stones?
Basically, around dusk.
All right, then Frax will definitely take both his dogs with him.
Since transit in this particular group is on the lighter side, although I think Twister said right before he left the group that Prodigy was going to buy himself a vehicle. So I think Prodigy might offer to transport all of you.
Aurelia would
Hooray.
accept that because traveling alone, even by drone, would be a little difficult.
Pirate says yes and thank you.
And Durandel says thank you as well. And I'm sure Prodigy would politely request, rather nervously, that Thrax make sure that his dogs don't, claw at the upholstery or anything like that, if it's okay. Does that sound appropriate, Desperado?
Yeah, look. I know you say that they're well trained and all, but I just got this. So, could you keep an eye on them? Something along that line.
They are perfectly fine in car.
So I have one question. What's the order of pickup gonna be?
Whatever would be logical, I assume, based on where people live on the map.
Where do we live?
Well, we still have to figure out what the hell Killjoy's doing for his lifestyle, because I don't think he's living in Parsons' loft
I
anymore.
think that I sent you the thing long ago. Maybe we need to go through it again. I think I said something
Can
along
we-
the lines of low and medium, because they don't have too much money. Well, I speaking multiple persons.
Can I?
He doesn't have much money. And he tries to stay low.
What were you trying to say, El Diablo?
Can I ping on the map somehow as such? Because I know where Thrax
You
would
hit-
live.
Well, yes, we have Thrax's address, but you use the space bar.
Yeah, found it, thank you. And yeah, I'm basically circling the area.
It was right on the river, as I recall, El Diablo. It was one of the bunkers, right?
Yeah, so indeed where Valkyrie Kara's pointing about there.
And here's where Aurenial's living. Just north of Regent's Park.
Is Irenial living with Pyrette and Henry? I can't remember.
No, she's living with Okami.
Okay. And so Okami's flat then is
Yes.
okay.
North side of Regent's Park.
Because yeah, Henry's place is well, then again, Prodigy lives in a fucking manor, so he might not be all that impressed with Henry's place. Although, yeah, and that's where Pyrette is. Okay, good. So yeah, I guess coming from the northeast, it would make the most sense to pick up Thrax first, and then just sort of avoid Lambeth and go to Henry's place, then up along the way to Okami. Oh, wait, where's Bashojo's? Do we have Bashojo's place listed here? Wait, why am I asking about Bashojo? Bashojo's not on this run. Who am I forgetting then? Pirates at Henry's. Killjoy, right. Where the fuck is Killjoy?
I don't know.
Well, fuck. Maybe Killjoy just walked.
He just pops up in places and nobody quite knows how.
Professional murder hobo.
Well, yeah. How did you know?
And yeah, I believe Sybil's old place used to be right along here somewhere, if I recall correctly. Basically,
I know it was underneath an overpass.
that's what this yellow one is. This is a major highway overpass thing. It's a highway built on big poles, essentially.
In fact, it is Westway, from which the sector of town gets its name.
Okay, thank you for the reminder. So I'll just put a little duaki there for Sybil's old place. And then make that visible. And then I'll also add the standing stones, which are, as I said, very close.
Not even half a mile away.
Sorry, what?
I was going to say not even half a mile away.
Well, let's see. If each hex is 100 meters, it is about 200 meters away.
When Sybil hears about this story, she'll be like, I know that's that place.
Yeah. Don't remind me of that place.
Okay. So you all arrive at the location, which your fixer says the Johnson will be ready and waiting for you. And you will see that there is basically quite a bit of spray paint on these. This area obviously has a great deal of street artists, we'll say. Kara, do you think Rin would have ventured into this low-life part of town to put some of her own tags? Yeah? Okay, so... Yeah, maybe there's even some pictures of turtles for some reason here. Japanese anime-style turtles.
And I suppose with it being day of the weekend, Friday? With it being Friday, I believe Aurenial's in her purple kimono. Not that it's different from any of the others, just different color.
So your fixer told you the Johnson would meet you here.
Aurenial's going to look around.
Turndale comments, so many turtles. So if you're going to look around, do what you do when you look around.
Going to be an active sensing first. Since we have all the mundanes and Voin around, and Durandal around.
I'm trying to remember. Has Erenial seen Voin during her bad days before?
Not on a bad day. On a good day. Only on a good day.
Yeah, and today she's lost her arcane arrestor, so that's going to make her aura look... Yeah, this is probably going to be a bad day. Yeah, this is a bad day for Durandal. Yes, and with 6 hits, Erenial, I also want you to roll composure, please.
Luckily, I know what that is.
So, Erenial, that is not Oh, that was Prodigy. Oh, sorry. Well, Prodigy wouldn't use active visual perception. He's not there personally. Remember, Desperado? He'd be using his drones.
All right. Well, I have no idea where to find that.
Drones, if they're actually in his character sheet, you would use the sensor number with Farsight software, plus his logic, I think. If he's, oh no, he's not a rigger, so there would just basically be the drones rolling for themselves. Ooh, Killjoy, not a bad roll. But yeah, so Aurenial got 2 hits anyway. Aurenial, that is not enough to hold your tongue.
What's wrong with your aura? That's not the same thing I saw last time I sensed you.
Pyrette, you are present for this, so if you want to try and explain things to Aurenial before Voyne opens her mouth. Oh, Durandal's not even opening her mouth, so we'll see what Pyrette has to say. While she's typing, Killjoy with the 7 hits. Well done. Killjoy, you're going to notice a very, very tiny bit of green paint sort of just materializing out of nowhere on one of the higher parts of the concrete pillar that's shaping out to be a very crudely drawn flower stem and leaves. Just spray paint showing up out of nowhere.
Okay. Is climbing a gymnastics check?
Climbing is a climbing check.
All right, there's a climbing. Yeah.
But before you try climbing or anything, I think you were reading for Pyrette, were you?
Yes, I was asking that. Pirate says she just feels a little under the weather today, Eriniel. So please don't make a big deal about it. Beyond that, she's perfectly fine.
I think that's a bit of a con, don't you, Abo Bob?
I would say that's a half-truth, at least.
Turndale will turn to the two and just go, huh?
Yeah, she sees that Aurenial's pointing at her when she turns around with a confused look on her face.
Yeah, I don't get it either. What's wrong with her? Is she sick?
We're not into the 6th edition yet, Abo Bob. We're still only in 5th edition.
Or, aren't we?
Yeah, no, Aurenial, you're not really buying it. We're using 4th edition, Frosty. I'm just saying that Abo Bob tried to roll 6th edition, which doesn't even exist yet because 5th edition's the latest edition. But Durandal says, I am not sick. I am Durandal.
Yes,
Good for you.
it's just your aura is different. I'll save you the trouble. She has no tattoos at all.
But she is covering herself with a kimono, which makes spotting tattoos a mite bit difficult.
Yeah, and that's above her form-fitting full body armor.
Okay, well, no alarm bells will go off for now.
Yeah, your aura is different today, Durandal. I've never seen it like this. It's disturbing.
Kara, isn't that technically a lie, though? Because I think Voyne's had her aura explained to her in the past by, what was her name? Dragon Worshipper girl. Star's character.
Patina.
Patina, right. So I don't think Durandal has a hell of a lot of training in lying, so but she says, I'm the same as I always am. That's at least a fair statement for her to say. Well, to a point. She does mutate rather severely. But Killjoy, you wanted to be sneaky with what you were doing, or are you going to be more open about what you've discovered?
And would
Oh, go ahead.
Reniel have seen that with her sensing?
No, because Durandal distracted you.
Okay.
Pirate saying, like I said, feeling a little different today, astrally speaking, but she is fine.
I must ask then, what is gymnast for?
For like parkour, or for handstands, or somersaults, that kind of stuff.
So I can't use it in this situation.
You could try parkouring, but I'd say the number of hits you'd need would be quite high. Who was Prodigy targeting there, Desperado?
Pirate. So you
Yeah. No, Kara, that's not the right picture. Kara, show the correct picture. Sorry. Yes, checking out Pirate, you can clearly see that she's making up excuses for Durandal's aura.
Pirate, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but even I can tell that's not true. What's is something wrong with her?
Demos does not like it, but Demos does not like many things.
Oh. Pirate said, like I said, feeling a little different today, astrally speaking, but she is fine. Also, is VT muted? Talking? No one?
Yes, I'm just getting the Darendel on a medium day picture. Just having trouble actually getting it into map tool. There we go. There she is. Just force everyone to this page.
Oh, how warm and glowy and
Yeah,
And
that's nightmare
terrifying.
fuel.
That's a median day.
Oh yeah, Thrax, you could actually do a astral analysis through your doggy. So, do you remember
Yeah,
what the
but
dice
Thrax
pool
won't
is?
bother.
Well, the dog can't help but look.
Yeah,
So-
and as I already said, Demos probably really doesn't like it, which Thrax has already said. But, well, that's Demos' problem.
And you said that's on a medium day, not a bad day.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a bad day, but can't seem to find that image. Basically, it's like that one I just put, but there's like cracks in the flesh that are oozing the energy up.
Everybody is slightly creeped out and stops looking at Dea. At Aveline.
Her latest name is Durandal.
Yes. But she's a little shaken right now and going by the first name she was introduced. And then the second. It'll take her a bit before she gets up to Durandal.
So Pirate
So-
says she sometimes has bad days and good days, astrally speaking, but it's nothing to raise an issue about. Trust me.
Well, we are on vengeance job, I think, today, so let's find the person who wants vengeance.
I think he's up there, pointing where the painting was happening.
Aurelia's gonna look in that direction.
So yes, you may all make a fresh roll for perception, visual, and with at least 3 hits, you will see the spray paint just sort of materializing out of nowhere. But if you get more hits than that, okay, so Thrax and Durandal, all you can see is that basically a flower is being spray painted on the wall. The green paint has stopped, and now there is some red and purple paint being sprayed simultaneously.
Aurelia, however, is sensing.
Even with the sensing, you can't even see the spray paint in the astral, so you're not seeing anything here, Reniel. So Durandal points to the flower and says, "Oh, that?" With a bit of confusion.
Rather, what's making it?
In that case, Aurelial, confused, goes back to the physical sight, so I guess I need to do a straight perception. With active, most likely.
Let the artist finish the job. I can appreciate art. You can't see the grin, but you can sense the grin behind the mask.
And now that she's looking through physical space,
So you can see the spray paint, yes. Pirate, are you going to bother to roll? Pirate, being the obtuse individual she is, doesn't even really notice the spray paint. But, oh, sorry, go ahead.
is it okay if I roll a quick memory check? For Aurelial?
Memory for what?
See if this jogs any bells, since she did become friends with a pixie, the pixie Chaos. Kay from Hamilton.
I don't believe it was ever revealed to anyone in character that she was a pixie.
Chaos? I believe was in pixie form all the time.
The problem was that she did not have the normal size of a pixie. Therefore, she looked like just a human child who floated. But if you have magical, like parazoology or magical threats or something like that, that might be an appropriate role to make.
Nope. Business, economics, gaming, Japanese culture, literature, and spirits.
God damn it, Aurelial. You're supposed to be a magician. What are you doing with your time?
This was all Japanese schooling.
Yep, okay. But
Weeb.
Killjoy, you've told everyone, just wait till the artist finishes her work. Is anyone going to object to Killjoy's direction?
I can go walk dogs. This is good place for I think there's territory to mark here. Is there not, boys? Yes.
I'm not sure Prodigy knows how to object.
Is there reason to object?
He might stammer one, but
Well, the flower is going to be done relatively quick. And then the painting stops. Killjoy, you got enough hits to be able to tell that something. So I'm going to tell you in private. Oh, yeah, Kara. Oh, no, I guess that's the medium day. Combine the two for the bad day.
And without breasts, I imagine.
Well, yes, Voin would not have quite so much cleavage, but yeah.
That's a weird thing to think about. Does the astral image look the same as the person, or can it be affected differently, like physically look different? Well,
So, for example, a shapeshifter will appear as their human aura while in animal form, or their animal aura while in human form. Anyway, what was I doing before that distracted me? Right, I was going to kidnap Frosty.
Yeah, and painting stops.
help!
User was moved out of your
Cha-cha-cha.
channel. User left your channel.
an Erennial looks like a single-tailed kitsune. Maybe two tails. Haven't decided yet.
2 dicks?
Tails. A
All
kitsune,
right, close to it.
the Japanese spirit fox. As it's older and wiser, it gets more tails.
Has Erennial seen Sybil's or Dawn's online form?
Once.
This should be interesting.
Well, then there's the RP that we're in right now.
Wait, how come you
User
get all
left your
tails?
channel is recording.
Sorry, what was that, Desperado?
Completely off topic. Don't worry about it.
Okay, and Frosty, what were you saying?
Again, off topic, but yeah.
Okay, well, Killjoy doesn't do anything with the knowledge he has been granted. And Erennial, you are suddenly going to have a pixie appear right in your face and flip you off. Roll composure.
Did I get spooked?
You hold it together very well. Even though the pixie's being exceedingly rude to you with her gesture. Actually, I guess it would be the Bollocks symbol rather than the middle finger, because Bollocks is much more traditionally English. And in a heavy accent, which I can't reproduce, the pixie is going to say, "Oh, you hunting blighter, what you doing in my turf?" And then she's going to threateningly point her very tiny spray paint can at your face.
We're here for a job.
The dogs are peeing against the stones, by the way.
Do you happen to know around? We're told that our client would be.
Sound like a right stuffed up wanker, you. Buzzes past, and Pirate, what are you wearing right now? Your kind of casual clothes or your more formal clothes? Casual street. And Pixie flies over to you, kind of sizes you up, saying, You're more about the right size. You fuckers, the Shadowrunners, are going to help me out?
Yeah. When the fuckers are gonna help you out?
I ain't talking to you, creepo.
Well, you were talking to us.
We are
Talking
here
to the
for
short
a
stack
revenge
here.
mission.
Durandal will say, Hi, I am Durandal. I am here to help.
Pirate says, if you are the one looking to hire some independent contractors, then yes.
Fuck me sideways. You sound just like the dumb blonde one over there. Which one of you? Which one of you? You, big, tall, and ugly.
I am not that ugly.
Shouldn't you roll a composure for being insulted?
Yes, I should.
Come on, ain't that rude. He's not that tall.
Shots fired. Yeah, Thrax. You're gonna have to give as good, or you're gonna have to give. Yeah, give as good as you got. That's the phrase.
Well, I may be ugly, but I at least can eat you.
That was your best?
Yes, I'm not that. I'm not the comedian or something.
Frosty, don't forget to read for Pirate, please.
No, sorry, didn't see it. It was covered my screen. Pirate says, just remember, Thrax, you are better looking than the deranged jester.
And we are here for revenge mission. If you keep insulting me like this, I will take revenge on you. You get?
Okay, now that is what I want to hear. And she points at Thrax.
Pirate says,
You really want to fight then?
Pirate says, Thrax, we are here for work, not for you to pick up a date.
Daya's kind of wondering why the pixie isn't acknowledging her and says, Did you not have a target you needed help with? And the pixie will look towards Durandal and be like, The fuck is up with all you? I thought you were Shadowrunners. Why are you talking like a bunch of corporate stiffs?
Thrax looks at Pirate, then looks at the pixie girl again a few times between them, and then go, I mean, I've been with many different people, some pretty tight. I do not know how this would work.
Yeah, and you ain't my type either.
Well, I think there's a size compatibility issue. For
Why not
starters.
just say, creepo?
Well, I just made it clear for the
So,
gentleman over here.
getting to vengeance. Who we get vengeance on?
Some big old corporate troll asshole who done offended me. Durandal will say,
Well, that's
I
not
was
hard.
told I should be on my best behavior. At which point, the pixie looks to Durandal again and says, well, who the fuck told you that?
Also, did you hear what I said?
Which? Sorry?
Everybody was talking at the same time, but I said when she said that the troll insulted her, I just said that, well, that doesn't seem to be hard. Also, Pirate is saying, because it's a smart thing to talk about possible criminal activity on an open street where it's easily heard over. Because it's not a smart thing. Oh. Okay. That's what you meant. In actuality, Pirate said, because it's not a smart thing to talk about possible criminal activity on an open street where it's easily heard over. Or overheard.
To which the pixie will then look to Pirate and say, fuck off, this is the West End, who gives a fuck? And Durandal replies, my mother, but I am allowed to help destroy the target you have with extreme prejudice. And the pixie kind of looks at Durandal with like a really queer, inquisitive look and it's like, shit, I just want you to take his fucking horns. But, I mean, God, if you blow him up, whatever, but... God, freaks. All of you.
Thank you. So only the horns. Nothing else more personal?
Oh, taking his horns is really fucking personal.
I know. There's some things that are more personal.
I am not too familiar about trolls. Can trolls go well without horns? Or is that like cutting off pee-pee?
The fuck are you saying?
Aurelial isn't even going to bother with her composure. She's just going to blanch at the rude talk from Brax.
And I've kind of got a feeling Desperado is Prodigy just putting like the blushy face emoji up.
And Pirate says, it's like taking a finger or toe, but more like removing appendix.
Okay, so if we cut that off, we probably will have to stop bleeding or he dies anyway.
Maybe? Oh no.
But bleeding? It's a horn.
Yes, but if you cut off finger or toe, then if you don't stop bleeding, they bleed out and die anyway.
The tiny pixie does a tiny face palm.
Nobody said that he was a biologically inclined.
Can I ask something if, you don't mind, Miss, we didn't get your name.
My name is Hudalieth. You can call me the Hood.
Well, what did this guy do to you that's got you so angry?
He fucking insulted me, all right? You don't need to fucking... What even are you? Are you like a robot or something? Fuck off.
I think at that point, Prodigy would turn the chameleon coating on the drone.
Look, this is already taking way too fucking long. Are you guys gonna do it or not? You know, I ain't got a fucking day.
I'm
night.
fine. Do you have idea where this man is?
Durandal says yes. Yeah, no, he's down in that fucking palaces area. And she does little air quotes and a whole body shimmy when she says that. Which, the palaces, as you'd all know, is like the most secure part of London because it's where the ultra wealthy live, essentially.
Also, Buckingham Palace. It's called the Palaces for a reason.
I have wanted to see that on tourist tour. But then that is tricky, because we will have to get him out of there, because I don't think we can just cut off horn near palaces and not have, like, everybody stop us.
Whatever. I just, if you want the money and you want the favors, then get me the horns. Otherwise, fuck off.
What type of favors can you provide? Because
I'm
you
a
just seem
fucking
like
pixie.
very little hoodlum.
I am a pixie, you motherfucker. You know what pixies can do, don't you? No? Well, guess what? We're fucking magical. And she disappears. Anyone wants to make a visual perception roll, they're going to need quite a few hits to see.
Can I do active?
Yes, you may.
Can I look through, would it help?
Killjoy! Fuck's sakes! Killjoy knows exactly where she is. But sorry, go ahead, El Diablo.
Thrax will try and look through Deimos's eyes for this one.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll for that.
Do I use my own perception then for that?
No, you use Deimos's stats.
I have no idea what Deimos's stats are.
Oh. And Durandal says, oh, she's gone. However, Durandal, you will hear her respond, no, I'm just fucking invisible, you twat.
Can't you see her? Just right there, and I point.
Okay, Creepo, you're real creepy. She'll fly slightly away, but I imagine you follow your finger as she goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then she like tries to speed up and she stops. She kind of shimmies around a bit, but Killjoy's able to keep his eye on her.
While you're at it, do a loop-de-loop.
Okay, so you can be very sneaky, and what else?
Even Killjoy is frustrated at this comment.
Sorry, what was that, Frosty?
Even Killjoy is getting frustrated with this comment. That wasn't the point, you luck. She is magical. Magic. M-I-G-I-K. Or C.
Yeah, but
I
so is I think the elf girl is also magical, and I heard the little gnome, the redhead gnome, is also magical. So that's not too special. I mean, I have blessings of Aries.
just
She'll
where do you
make
live?
she will make herself visible again and say, right, well, fuck. You know, so... Oh, wait, a sec. Durandal... Oh, before that, Durandal's going to say something here. She pauses far longer than she should as she tries to think of how she should word this based on the other past encounters with people. If you give us more information, we will fuck this bastard up for you. And she'll say, first in response to what else can you do for favors, and mention that, right, well, not only am I a pixie and therefore magical, I also have myself a cousin who is a pixie and magical and the most feared sky pirate in like all of everywhere.
Ah, that is more interesting. Okay, I am convinced with that.
And just to make sure we're on the same page, what was the million amount you were promising?
I got 5,000 new yen for you.
I'm going to make it. Judge intentions, because that sounded like a lie.
Yeah, it did sound like a lie.
It sounds like you're trying to fuck us over.
But
I
no,
might be hard of hearing.
no. Like I don't got it on me, but I'll pay you 5,000. 5G. That's good, right? 5K.
Out of her, how much did she promise in the advertisement? Or
Low payment was the promise, but favors. Do you want to read for Pirate?
yep. Pirate says that's a tiny amount to try to hire Shadowrunners with.
Yeah, well, you're a pretty tiny Shadowrunner, so I guess it works out, don't it?
I am not tiny. I am very big and strong.
I know one thing that's tiny in you.
No, two things that are tiny with him. And she puts out two fingers towards Killjoy while pointing towards Thrax with her other hand.
Immediate composure.
Composure for Durandal as well, then, eh, Kara? Thrax, you got to give as good as you got.
Well, I could still use mine to rip you apart between the legs if we went at it. So there.
Jeez, man, you are just wound up way too tight. God.
It must be all that muscle
Just like your
in his
cunt.
brain.
Durandal says, if you are small, but you are high up, do we look small or big to you? Durandal, not that you were able to really read the pixie's expression, given that you have terrible judge intentions, but Hudilieth, her face kind of contorts with a, what the fuck? And she just can't seem to comprehend what Voin just said. But Voin, you know that she does have, she's at least acknowledged that you spoke to her as she stares straight at you.
Well, are we done
I'm just finding
making
out what
pleasantries?
Kara's typing something at the moment,
Yeah, I know. I'm just. Well, wait.
filling in the air.
Yes. So are we done changing pleasantries, or are we ready to go and do a horn removal?
I am
So
done.
Tur-
That I'm always good for revenge mission, and the story of Sky Pirate intrigues me.
Durandal says, I mean, in terms of perception, your eyes are much smaller. And what more can you tell us about this troll? And again, the pixie kind of has a facial expression like, is this girl for real? And she'll just kind of shake her head for a moment and say, yeah, no, he's some big shot, big fucking troll fucker guy. And he's got this like really pointy chin, but this little bitty nose on his big fucking square face, and his horns. And she mimics kind of a rolling motion at the side of her head, kind of doing a starting at the temples, then rolling back and around and forward again. So kind of
Does
like
this
ram's horn.
goat-horned bastard have a name?
Durandal says, does he venture out of the palace? How did you encounter him? And Killjoy, you asked, does he have a name?
Yeah. Specifically, does this goat-horned bastard have a name?
Oh, I don't fucking know. Everybody's got a name, I guess. But yeah, I don't think he always stays in the palace neighborhood. But like I I was just minding my own business, you know, doing my own thing, and this fucker, he grabs me, practically rips my clothes off, and he like basically violates me in full public view. But because I don't got a sin, I don't got no rights in this corporate fucking universe, and you know, it makes me sick, and I want to make sure that he learns his lesson, you know.
Sounds like we should cut off a third horn rather than head horn.
That was what I said like 5 minutes ago, but whatever.
Durandal says, was this at a bar, a club? No, no, it was outside in the streets, you know, like public, you know, down in like the south end of the West End, the Westway, you know, like where Westway and the Palace, you know, like the somewhere around there kind of thing, you know. Why is Erennial rolling that composure?
She has a disgusted look on her face. She did not succeed on her composure.
Judge intentions roll at that last bit.
Okay. Durandal says, oh, so he does venture at least in reachable areas. And she's like, yeah, mostly. She does not make eye contact when she says that, though. And go ahead and roll your judge intention before I tell you what Killjoy... Wow! Fuck. All right. Anybody else making a roll? Okay. So, excuse me once again here. I just have to do this.
User was moved out of your channel. User left your channel.
Seems Frosty knows everything.
Tonight, at least. Yeah, the whole... Erennial, to everybody, has a pissed off and disgusted look on her face.
Thrax probably a little bit as well.
And it's more than likely the first time Pirate has seen such emotion on Erennial's face.
User in your channel is recording.
And Erennial, you kind of get the impression that the Pixie's kind of holding back a bit.
What are you not saying?
I'm saying everything you need to fucking know. Do you want the money or not? Fuck's sakes. I don't expect this fucking British Inquisition.
Look.
I am not British, I'm Turkish.
Then I'm Japanese.
She now just starts flipping all of you off.
Prodigy would.
It's not my place to say or ask. Not that I care what happened, but how you're telling this story, it sounds like it doesn't matter which troll we're fucking take horns off, because
No,
we don't know anything else except he lives in a fucking palace district.
I got his fucking license plate number, all right? Like, that should help, huh? No?
Yes, thank you. That will help. Otherwise, I would have just gone and taken the first horns from the troll I find.
That would be actually a lot easier for us.
I would know those fucking horns anywhere. This guy's got like he polishes his horns. Like, this guy, he cares about those horns.
Of course he polishes his horn. He's a man. What? Tough crowd.
Yeah, like she's just kind of glaring at you for that one, Killjoy.
Out of character, on the other hand, I was just laughing my ass off.
But okay, give us license plate number. I'm sure the smart person in group can track this down. Someone who does the whole computer search thing.
I am assuming it's the one with the robot.
So,
Because it's
so
definitely not you.
the license plate was HBI 107. Oh, and this car, fucking like rich snob, fucking overpriced, gas chuggling, Mother Earth killing piece of trash. Kind of car that should be outlawed.
Wait, I thought all cars were electric these days.
No, not this one. Fuck this thing. This thing's like specifically designed just to fucking kill the planet.
I might be wrong. I have a distinct feeling that those things are fucking expensive.
Durandal, out of nowhere, will look at the spray paint can and say, "Did you paint the turtles?" To it, the hood just looks to Durandal again with a "what the fuck" expression and says, "No, I do the flowers." She points to like there's basically a whole set of very pretty flowers set up all along the columns. Very much the opposite of Hoodedliath's personality. The flowers are like gentle and soft and pretty. And Dura says, "Oh, okay, they look nice." With that, you actually catch her off guard, and the scowl on her face kind of disappears for a moment, and she smiles, a genuine smile, but then she scowls again and says, "All right, do you need anything else? You're taking up all my time here."
Well, I don't know. I think we have everything, do we?
Enough,
everything
anyway.
that you can give, I think.
All right, so are we leaving now?
I think we are.
All right, so
I think the
Prodigy-
artist wants some alone
Yes,
time
let's
with
go
the
find
art.
the troll with polished horns.
So Prodigy picks everyone up in his drone controller, and we go somewhere.
Right. Do any of you want to talk about that meeting you just had before proceeding with the mission?
I see nothing wrong with it.
Pyrette had an excellent point, but a Bobob's AFK at the moment. So I think on a Bobob's behalf, would you like me to bring up that point again?
Sure thing, but because I'm not a brainy one.
That's a tiny amount to try to hire Shadowrunners with.
Yeah. Basically, we're being asked to physically assault somebody who apparently has loaded with cash. Does this not sound like a really bad idea for a measly 5,000 new yen and the promises of favors from some highly agitated, borderline psychotic pixie?
As a psychotic, quote-unquote mass murderer, I see nothing wrong with it.
Is that exactly what Killjoy just said?
Well, let me see. The 1 through 5, he was saying it, and 6 to 10, not. Nope, he said it.
So how does anyone react to Killjoy admitting to being a mass murderer?
Hey, I said quote-unquote.
How does the people react to his quote unquote mass murderer self-appointed label?
He's probably just being edgy.
Prodigy, meanwhile, has some knowledge of Killjoy, so this isn't the most shocking thing in the world, I don't think. Like, oh,
Aurelius?
yeah, I kind of already guessed.
Aurelius is going to scoot as far away from Killjoy as possible. He's already been stabbed once. Not interested in that again.
But yes, we could not do the job and just go home and eat pizza, but I don't know. That seems like a bit of a waste of the evening.
I agree. At least with that.
I think maybe we need to learn more because this doesn't. Something about this story isn't adding up.
Oh yeah,
Like-
she was lying.
No, I mean the whole thing. Like, why would somebody from the palaces come into this part of Westway without, like a freaking armed security escort? Why would he do
Like I
anything
said,
to any
she was
pixie?
lying.
Well, then why does she want us to mess this guy up so badly? I mean, she was kind of specific about who we get, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
well, I think step one on finding that out is actually finding out who this actual troll is. Which we would need to do anyway if we are going to cut his horns off, so it's kind of along the road.
And Durandal says, I was finally let out to do work. I don't want to do nothing.
Well, you are doing something right now.
I mean, I guess if all else fails, maybe we can get some money from him or just take his car and sell it or something.
Well, I was thinking if we are going to do that, then yeah, there's the car we could sell.
All right, I'll see what I can do with that license plate number.
Please do.
So out of character, I'm guessing that wouldn't be a regular data search roll.
No, like that you would start with a data search roll to see, where's the database that might have this information. Okay, is there a version of that database which is available for public to review? No? Okay, then where do I have to go? So you always start with a data search just to learn what you can.
If I'm not mistaken, that would be 23 SR4. Let me double check that real quick.
I believe if you're going full VR, you get a +2 for that. If you're using analytical mind, which I believe applies in this case, that's a further +1 or +2.
+2.
So, yeah. The Prodigy was specifically built for data searching.
All right, so it'd actually be 25 SR4. Because, I had all the other stuff in there with the rating 7 prowls.
There's a Bobob. We'll catch up with you in just a moment. Durandal says, if we forced him to make an apology directly to her, we might not need to cut off his horns. So, a Bobob, I had Pirate bring up the fact that for 5,000 new yen, this job doesn't sound worth it. That, I figured it'd be appropriate for Pirate to bring that up after she made the comment about 5,000 new yen being a tiny amount. And considering this guy is apparently very well off and has a very expensive car and he lives in the most expensive part of London, that maybe this job's just not worth it. Does that sound appropriate for what Pirate might say to the group? Frosty, go ahead and say what you wanted to say, Skilljoy.
As for why she was lying, it's because she probably antagonized him some way. Probably flipped him off, looking at her the wrong way, something like that.
Maybe it was like different size date that didn't go well because of mechanics. And then she took insult to it.
Yes, probably. It must have been that. Sure.
Roll for sarcasm damage.
How much do I roll?
How sarcastic was Killjoy being?
I don't think there's a number for it.
Durandal says we could ask the troll.
And while I don't think it's hard to antagonize her or hard to imagine her antagonizing him, I'm guessing she doesn't try and hire Shadowrunners for every person who pisses her off. So I don't know if that explains the whole thing. Let me do my data search here.
Hard thing. Feel that. But
Okay.
I'm guessing that the part of her being, humiliated was correct, but not why. But that's just me. What do I know? Except where she is.
All right, so with that first roll, Prodigy will be able to determine that the vehicle is registered on pay databases. So there is a police database where if you have a legal, what's the word?
Liaison or
No. When you're
certification?
researching a crime, you need a warrant. If you have a warrant, you can basically check with the police/city database. Then there are also private databases for the various types of cars that when the car is bought and if the owner didn't basically pay for anonymity, you can look up on their database, but then you have to pay to access that database. There's also the option of possibly seeing if this license plate shows up in any Shadowrunner data havens. So what method would Prodigy want to continue down? Also, Durandal will say, if she can fly and turn invisible, how did he catch her before? Frosty, do you want to reply as Pirate?
Yep. Pirate says. Probably got cocky and pulled something my sister would do.
Or the troll was just had good eyes like you're a weird masked man.
Durandal says maybe she got drunk.
Who knows?
So, would I be able to use the grid guide records to at least find out the make and model of this car without having to hack in?
Grid Guide would have a protected database. So for them, you'd need to make it into their database somehow.
So about like the police.
Basically, Grid Guide is the private corporation which works in conjunction with the municipal government and police. So if you get into one of their databases, you essentially get into all three of those databases. And Frosty?
Pirate says. Maybe. My sister is always drunk, so she never is getting drunk. Yeah, I don't understand. My guess, she might have wanted to showboat and got grabbed during that.
Well, without knowing the make and model of the car, we can't access the right manufacturer's database. And we definitely don't have enough money to just try and access all the luxury car manufacturers. So I guess it's time to try and do the police database.
Hey, wait. There can't be too many fucking gasoline guzzling cars around.
This is London. Which manufacturer of gasoline guzzling cars would you even start with?
I don't know. That's not my forte, but there can't be too many. Like the Lunk here said earlier, most of the cars are electric.
Frosty, you should really read what Pirate just said.
I shall. Bar says she's a tagger, so she wants her work to be seen. So my guess is she tried to tag the wrong thing and said things belong to, and that said thing belonged to the said troll.
And Durandal says, like his car.
That maybe I should. That might help.
Pirate says possible.
All right. Probably maybe check. I don't know. Let's see. Where's his? Yeah, do his Data Havens roll to see if anybody's seen a big gas guzzling car with a flower painted on the side recently.
Okay, go ahead and make a roll for that, Prodigy. Durandal says, should we check police reports on pixies?
Maybe. The way she was talking, it sounded like she might have actually tried to file a report.
Prodigy.
The other way around.
I think Prodigy might be naive enough to believe that, but I'm hoping our jester at the very least picked up on the fact that this girl, this pixie, was very anti-establishment, very anti-police, anti-fascist. So,
well, what I picked up on was her saying that since I was Sidless, they wouldn't do anything, which suggests that she, tried.
or she has a preconceived notion.
Also true.
But I did say all the other way around.
Well, either way, there might be some record out there.
So, yeah, Prodigy, you can think of a couple of places you could check. So just go ahead and do another data search. And basically, this will be Prodigy cross-referencing information and looking in a few places. This will take a bit of time, though. So while he's compiling data, what do the rest of you do? Aurenial, Thrax, you've both been quiet.
Sorry, I was kind of going slowly into sleepy mode, I can't do much in the way of data search or something. Let me look at what else I have.
Even just discussing ideas with the other player characters.
Arena's gonna look at Pirate. Pirate, do you know if a gas guzzling car would have a different appearance in the astral? I personally have never had to deal with such a thing, and you're more learned about magic than I am, having gone to the University of Magic here.
I would like to visit the Palace district regardless, because, well, it is a big tourist thing. I have not even really seen that much before, so it would be a nice trip at least.
I'm helping. Pirate says all cars are going to look the same, I think. I assume unless they look worse.
Oh, no, that bit she's not saying out loud.
Oh.
Just up to the quotation mark.
Yeah.
And yeah, a Bobob, cars are not living things. Therefore, they all have no aura. At best, they reflect the aura of the world around them. But a gas guzzling car would negatively impact the aura of the living things around it. So while you wouldn't be able to see anything special about the car's aura, people who live near the car would have weakened auras due to it. Similarly, if, for example, someone had a living organism inside of a car, that might have a weak aura, but auras tend to only exist in living things that are truly alive and not just manufactured biology. So the fact that Voin has an aura at all suggests that she is alive, even though her aura is so incredibly weak because she is a manufactured entity. Durandal says, I don't think I'm allowed to go into the Palace District unless we have to.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure?
And a Bobobber, is Pirate bringing that up in character, or are you just bringing that up as a player? Well, then I guess Frosty will have to read it.
Speaking of which, to pay and afford the extra taxes on a polluting machine in London, a magic center, so he has to have a common connection or a well-paying job.
Well, if he lives or works in the palaces, he would have one or both. Probably both.
PT, did you notice my data search?
Yes, yes I did.
I'm helping.
You keep telling yourself that, you crazy jester.
No, nobody has said me otherwise. Or if they have, I haven't heard it.
I think the jester has been quite helpful.
You would.
Actually, you have been, just be not with the data search.
Out of character? I know. In character?
Out of
I don't
character,
think
that
you
was the
killed
answer.
your cares.
In character, Prodigy would just, I'm busy, can't hear you.
Actually, it's a thing that, though I doubt, we should have maybe asked the pixie if she maybe had a piece of cloth or something from the troll, because then I could maybe make Doc sniff and try and track him down that way.
Oh, wait for that now.
And if also another thing we could have done was, if along the same lines as what you had suggested, Thrax, they might have an astral signature for us to follow, or at least an aura signature.
So, at the moment, most of you are just sort of sitting in Prodigy's car, or is Prodigy... Yeah, where is Prodigy driving everyone, by the way?
We could go to a Turkish coffee house.
Or we could just drive around. If it's electric car and he has the what's it called? The
Grid guide.
Yeah. It won't cost.
But, Desperado, are you there?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a good answer to the question. Probably towards kind of the area she was talking about, the border between the palaces and Westway. But
So
not
careful.
really anywhere specific.
So carefully avoiding any area that might have, say, heavy surveillance or the necessity of broadcasting your sin, considering you've got Killjoy in the car, and I think Thrax might not be wearing his civilian clothing.
Those would probably be a good idea.
Well, we've recently discovered that nudity is totally legal in London, so I think half naked is totally proper civilian clothing.
Wait, what? When did we learn this?
I think it was a discussion we had a few days ago.
Yeah, in TeamSpeak, yeah.
I don't think
see
I
how
was
this
here for
connects
this.
To sin.
Currently, this year, it is, as of this year so far, Desperado has learned that in London, it is perfectly legal to be nude.
That is quite interesting. Huh. Is there any context to this? Or is it just, naked?
Check your TeamSpeak.
But Frosty, Pirate said something?
Do we have the ID to even want to be close to those areas?
I have pretty good tourist sin, so I think I would be fine in Palace area.
Somehow I'm doubting that, but yeah.
Well, I
Hey,
mean,
look, I don't even have a face in.
well, if anybody has any suggestions about where we can go while I keep working on this, I will certainly set the car's autopilot for it.
We don't have anything to go for at the moment, so
How about we all get shawarma?
Forma, what is that?
Oh, it is traditional Turkish food. It's very good.
are we on the set of Avengers right now?
Yes.
Oh. You have seen that.
Yes, that is, I think, third movie in Dan the half-orc barbarian trilogy, right? The Avenger of Glux.
Oh, hey, Pirate Talk. Pirate says, anyone know a place that deals in car parts or know a chop shop they can ask?
I'm afraid I know less about London.
Why?
Well, I know not much about London or much about cars, so I do not own one.
Neither do I. I don't even know how to drive. I can learn.
Cars can drive themselves nowadays, but that's not really the point. Why in the world do we need a chop shop?
I don't know. Why do we need a chop shop? Alright. Or, actually, I don't think Pirate has given her name. So. Gnome.
We've probably said her name enough around you that you could probably figure it out.
Maybe.
Durandal says, I think Ace has a nice car. We could call him. He might know.
Hey. Oh. Wait a minute. I think I said that in my name somewhere. Oh, hey. I do have an Ace in my contact. Unfortunate.
He's a very nice person.
I wouldn't
remember
know. I
saving
haven't
his
seen
life
him
once
personally.
before. I remember saving his life once before.
Durandal affirms he is nice. And the question is, would she go into the story about the time that she and he went into a swimming pool together? Anyway. So yeah, basically you're all just sort of killing time while Prodigy does all the research for you. Is that what's going on?
Well, I did my best with my knowledge and skills towards searching information.
Yes, no, but I mean, you're not asking Prodigy to drive you to any specific location. You're not doing any other activities. You're basically just hanging out in Prodigy's car.
Well, yes, Frax would happily take them to a Turkish coffee bar or shawarma place.
Food might be an option since it is late in the
Pirate
afternoon.
Pirate says a dealer that sells parts needed for a gas car might have a list of clients. We can check. Or a chop shop might know who has some.
Also, this if this is gas guzzling car, it might be old and well, if it is old, it would have been like need to be modified if troll was to be put in there usually.
Or well, they robot. Also, Pirate says there is always hacking into the Department of Licensing, finding a car and its owner.
I think the only one competent enough with computers to do that is already quite busy. Although we should probably bring that up to Prodigy as well.
Well, if you point me at computer where all those data is, I'll happily hack into it for you with my sword.
In that case, it would no longer be containing the information we need. Hacking to receive information isn't the same as hacking into something with your sword.
So much easier if we had the name. Stupid pixie without a courtesy of getting his assaulter's name or her assaulter's name.
So Desperado, is there anything else Prodigy would do other than this current search?
Not yet. He'd want to focus on this and get this done as quick as he could.
Okay, so I'd like to say we're going to take a 15-minute break in real life, and we'll convene for about wrapping this up in about an hour after that, unless everyone still feels they have enough energy to push on a bit further. But yeah, 15-minute break for now. So do we have everybody, or is there still people missing?
No, I'm ready.
I am present.
I am here but chewing my sandwich.
I'm here.
And Kara? All right, cool. So if people are getting tired, we'll say just one more hour, and then we'll wrap up.
That sounds good to me. Because yeah, I am getting on the tired side. And I have to work again tomorrow. It sucks.
User in your channel started
I have to work
recording.
every day of the week, so suck it up, Buttercup. I'm kidding. But, right, so what was this wicked idea Thrax had?
Yes, I wonder if I can make a roll to see if there's any herbological medicinal purposes for troll horns, such as increased virility if
Do
ground up
you
into
have
a
this
powder.
as a, do you have that as a knowledge skill?
I have parazoology.
Doesn't really apply, but I will let you make the roll with a very high target threshold. You haven't heard of it before, but it wouldn't surprise you if it's true. Here's something that Pirate and Erennial could roll if they have magical theory or something along those lines.
Closest I'd get to that would be spirits, or maybe business. I don't know if either of those will work.
Then I'm going to let you roll either your logic or your intuition, whichever is higher, at -1 Erennial. Meanwhile, Pirate can roll magical theory or something like that. Wow. Fuck. Do you want to edge that? Well, Erennial, you can't remember exactly, but you think there's something about getting the troll's horns that just something about it sounds familiar to you, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
There's something to it. I don't know if it's what you're thinking of. Thrax.
I don't think Thrax said anything out loud, so I don't really think there's any real roleplay discussion for this.
Yeah, no, he probably wouldn't say that out loud unless he has a clear idea towards this. This is more like wandering him for him.
That's better, Pirate. Sympathetic link. You can do ritual spellcasting if you have a material link of somebody's body. Really good if it's fresh, too. Usually just like hair or toenail clippings are enough, but getting a troll's horns? Damn, you could really make a strong link to the person through that. So will Pirate reveal this information to the rest of the team?
So Pirate says, or rather, sighs first. Random magical thought here, but what if she wants the horn for more than just wanting to pay back from the troll?
Durandal will ask, what do you mean?
Erennial is going to speak up. Yeah, there's something that can be done with the horns, but I can't off the top of my head remember.
You can mount on a wall as a trophy?
Yes, aphrodisiac. I was thinking of that, but I don't know anything.
I didn't
with
actually
that.
read what she said yet. But yeah,
Okay,
Durandal
sorry.
says aphrodisiac, Thrax.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I don't remember any reliable thing where a troll horn is used as aphrodisiac. or increased virility or something like that. I'm thinking on it, but I can't remember anything. It's
Well, I
usually
think
Rhino.
bullhorn is aphrodisiac for some people. Depends on which one, though. Pirate says, using it as a catalyst to cast ritualistic magic against him, continued payback, or as leverage for something.
Well, if she was that upset with him, maybe that's the real revenge. Maybe she plans to, like, do something, I don't know, kill him or something. Ritual magic.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, she was not upset when Durandal said just to kill the man, so she said that was fine too, so I don't know if she has long-term plans for him.
Question?
Durandal will say, is she trying to blackmail him for money? But I guess that Thrax's statement kind of clears that up. Jester?
Question? Do we care? Anyone? Care if she uses it for some magic mumbo jumbo? And Pirate says, if he works in the Palace District, I think it's more for favors than for money. Do I hear a yes for giving a crap? Anyone? Going once? Going twice?
No, not really.
Pirate had a response for you there, Jester.
Yeah. You're forgetting my name. Anyway, depends, since she is clearly not paying us enough for this.
And Durandal says, I am not sure.
Well, I am not the shrewd financial man, so not for me to negotiate for a price. I'm just here for a job and fun. Especially fun.
So I am, it's not so much, well, until we know who this troll is, I don't care, but if it turns out this troll is like really important man or something, then maybe it changes.
Speaking of, Prodigy, you're going to be getting some information on that search about cars with flowers on them. And yeah, so there has actually been searching a bunch of different sites, you eventually track down basically an anarchist blog based out of downtown London, where rabble-rousers and anti-establishment groups basically have a stick-it-to-the-man contest, essentially, where they're comparing with one another about actions that themselves or people they admire have taken to stick it to the man. And there's a very recent blog post about a graffiti artist who has been vandalizing various vehicles in the Palace District recently. But it seems that she got caught while spray painting the car of a fellow who the anarchist nickname Killmonger, but his legal name is Carl Killander. He is a businessman working for a corporation by the name of, let's see here, Henderson Bearings Incorporated. And if you do another data search now that you have his name, it'll be pretty simple deal to get some more info on that.
So his name was Car Killander?
Correct. And his nickname is Killmonger amongst the anarchists.
May I roll a what's it called? Politics? Political knowledge?
You may absolutely. And Prodigy, do you want to edge that horrific roll?
Yeah, I think I can swing a point of edge for that. And hey, HPI. Wait, didn't the license plate start with those numbers?
Yes, it did.
There we go. That's more like it, for a total of 11.
So yes, the Henderson Bearings Incorporated is a military associate company which develops software and hardware specifically for military applications of what's the navigation word for military navigation? There's a specific word for orientation, I think is what it's called. So orientation software for soldiers and the likes. No, not trajectories. This isn't for bullets or artillery. It's for people, for getting troops where they need to go accurately and with maximum information about where their GPS coordinates are, where their teammates are. Basically, tactical network software, specifically based on GPS. And the specific position which Callander has in the corporation is the senior business partner and civilian military liaison. Basically, he's a bigwig in this company. Not public relations so much as well,
Go between the civilians and the military?
yeah, basically he is one of their managers. He's basically a manager who explains to the employees who are civilians what the military expectations are for this software, and then speaks to the military contacts to explain things in terms of what's it going to cost them, what kind of timetable. Basically, he's the middleman. In other words, is this someone that Shadowrunners want to go and cut the horns off of?
Depends on how gutsy the Shadowrunners are.
Depends how insane the Shadowrunners are. So, yeah!
There's a fine line between bravery and insanity.
There's no line between those two in Joy's mind.
Anyway, so it sounds like from the internet posts that he was tagging his car, and then what? He just called the cops?
No, the blog post doesn't really give details. But basically, she has successfully tagged a lot of vehicles in that area, but when she tagged his, that ended up being the last one she got. To be clear, though, the tagger was only ever referred to as the Flower Child. Nobody ever saw him/her/them/it. This particular tagger was a complete mystery to the blogger. Or at least that's what they're posting officially on the blog. Is anyone going to say that out loud? What Kara just suggested out of character.
Thrax would say that.
So Thrax says, perhaps we can flip this and get him to pay for us to deal with the pixie?
Yes, or we even do a blackmail thing, like, look, you give us a little bit of money and we won't bother you anymore.
Well, we'll do that. We would need to be an actual threat. Going out right, blowing our load like that, I don't think that would work. We need to feel like we have some.
I'm going to let Frosty read for Pirate before I read for Durandal.
So, again, do we want to do this for a mere 5,000 million? Might be better to turn this one on Pixie.
And Durandal says, I think we should at least talk to the troll. He seems a very dangerous person to mess with in this city.
So with his
Sure,
name,
let's just go in his front door and go have a little chat. Maybe some tea.
Well, he
With-
is British.
I prefer
With his-
coffee.
with his name and nickname and everything, could I do some more digging on his background specifically?
Absolutely, you may attempt that. Durandal says, tea sounds nice.
Joe just tilt his head a
Also,
little.
I'd like to know more of this sky pirate the fairy claimed was her cousin. I mean, that got my attention mostly, and well, if that's bullshit, then definitely we help the troll man.
Pirate says, I agree. He himself personally isn't dangerous, but what he can bring to the table is. Well, I wouldn't say that. He's a troll. He's a big one.
Yeah, oftentimes these kind of people may have their own military experience.
Which is exactly what Prodigy finds out. The man was born to some very well-off people in London about 50 years ago or so, where most people freaked out if they had troll or orc kids and tried to hide them. This family actually did the progressive thing and kept their son and used their vast wealth to make sure that he had the best training possible and got him enrolled in a military program. He washed out early on, apparently not really... Despite his big size, he wasn't really the athletic type. Seemed to have a lot of issue actually, hitting the mark when it came to rifles. But considering this was back before meta-ergonomics existed, he was basically trying to operate human-sized rifles. So it's not really all that surprising that a troll wasn't doing so well in the military for that. However, what he was good at was tactical. He seemed to have a knack for logistics, strategy, and just coming up with solutions to problems that his superiors were surprised with. But still, being a troll back then, it took a lot for him to get where he was, and he eventually just retired into the private sector. After all, being a troll in his 50s, he's up there in his age. Trolls aren't known to live much longer than that on average. So he's now working basically in a very high position for this civilian-based contractor for the British military that also has connections to militaries around the world. This is not someone to fuck with.
Also sounds like the story of his service. I can very much respect that. He sounds like a very good fighter and warrior.
So what? You now have a man crush on him?
Don't forget that you're supposed to read for pirates.
Oh, sorry. Wait, Sky Pirate and military contractor, and the Pixie wants a whore?
Yes.
As for man crush, I respect him. Looking at picture, he's not really my type. Bit to the chin and bit old, no.
That was rhetorical, but okay. Pirate says, seems like possible pirate wants leverage. What is the current news for the pirate? Oh. I mean the pollution waves of the London?
BT.
There is reports of a children's SimSense show based out of the United Canadian American States about a ghoul vampire and her spirit friend who go on wacky misadventures, and one of the reoccurring villains is a pixie sky pirate who has a giant invulnerable talking cat and a fish man as minions.
And what would be this character's name?
Soleil Corbeau, or however you pronounce it. It's a French name. Not really sure about the pronunciation.
Yeah, Prodigy would. Yeah, guys, I just kind of. Yeah, that Sky Pirate is apparently from a children's TV show, name and all. So, not real.
You were expecting a Sky Pirate?
I am very disappointed though, just because it's on in a vid or TV or whatever, that does not mean it's always not real. I mean, Dan the half-orc barbarian is definitely real, as is
Well-
Leonidas.
Well, I didn't find any evidence of it being real, and Killjoy, Kane's a submarine pirate, so it's not the craziest thing I've heard.
No. But he was lying after all. So. I mean, you weren't believing her, right?
But regardless, the little pixie girl is probably bullshitting us, I think.
You're amazingly thinking right. Pirate says that Pixie is trying to be a fish in a rather dangerous pond.
And Durandal says, I still think we should speak with the troll. He probably has a side of this she doesn't have.
Oh, but if we go talk to him, he knows that somebody's after him, and, well, goodbye for that chance of ever catching him off guard at that.
I'm not usually one to suggest this kind of thing, but maybe we go back to the Pixie, tell her that we kind of know she's lying to us. Tell her that if she doesn't tell us the truth, we'll walk.
I'm
always
fine
up
with
for
that
listening.
plan or with speaking with the troll man. With this killmonger.
I'm always up for listening her curse and
Yeah, speaking of which, how does a guy get a nickname like Killmonger?
Kill a lot of people?
He didn't seem to actually make it to the military.
To be fair,
Associated
the,
with
the man
military?
himself, when you did the search there, the nickname never came up. The only place the nickname shows up is on the Anarchist website.
Okay. It just seems like, an odd random name, unless it's just, well, he works for a military contractor, so he must be a Killmonger.
Well, I have many nicknames as well. I am Thrax the Undefeated, Thrax the Unconquerable, Thrax the Indomitable, Thrax the... this list goes on for a while.
does your list have anything about Thrax the... If he doesn't quiet down, I will stick a knife in him?
Ah, very funny, but that's not good to promote yourself like that.
No, I'm not promoting. I'm telling you.
And since Pirate seems to agree,
Frosty.
Yes, I was waiting that the thing quiets down in my end. I agree. Everything is not adding up. We should speak with both. That's
So how
why.
shall we go about contacting Mr. What was his name?
There's plenty of contact information on the official website for the company.
I think maybe Pixie first, since, if she has actually got a good explanation for this, we might still want to go through with this, and, probably shouldn't tell him if we want to do that.
That is a solid tactical thinking, yes.
And if we want somebody to talk with the big fellow, I mean, I think you could negotiate with the other fellow. You know, that carbon copy guy. You go and talk with him. He seems to be rather civil.
Pirate's pretty much going to be the only one to understand what that means. Oh no, and Prodigy. Sorry, I forgot. Prodigy was there for that too.
Oh, yes. Also, I get the feeling you just barely hear like the littlest blip of a happy sound come out of Prodigy's little drone when he's told that that's a tactically sound decision, but it like cuts off.
Pirate says, I am with either order. I just want to make sure we don't risk our necks for something this stupid unless we have to.
Yeah, that's your sister's job, right? That's what you would say?
So do we want to do this as team or maybe split team? Have people go and meet with the troll fellow maybe, and other people maybe talk with Ferry again. Hoodlum, I think she's called.
Goodly. And Pirate says, yes, my sister is the one with the limited sense of self-preservation.
All right, so Prodigy will reset the autopilot back towards the standing chunks of concrete to go see if we can track down Hood.
Are you typing something, El Diablo?
Yes.
What are you typing? Ah, I see. Lasai. Okay, so vroom, vroom, vroom. You drive back to the standing quote unquote stones. Now what? Durandal is waiting in the car, apparently.
Goes out of the car
Oh, I want to talk
and
with
sets the
Pixie
dogs to
too.
sniffing.
So shall we go have a look around the station?
Well, you
Yeah.
were good at spotting her, so you have best chance, I think.
And one of my chummers crashed, so I may have lost some progress on people's character sheets. Yay.
What's new?
On the plus side, one of, not all of.
Well, it had like 7 character sheets open in it. Yeah, Pirate, not spotting much of anything.
Anyone maybe have some bait?
How about we just call her name?
Sharks and Frax starts calling for Hoodlum. Yo, Hoodlum, are you still around?
Or the Hood, I think, is what she wanted to be called.
So, is it just Thrax calling out for her, or is anyone else? God damn it, Killjoy. Where are you getting these fucking rolls from?
I don't know.
I think
I'm
Bobo's
not-
D&D campaign, he's got roles like that in there as well.
Well, but that's a passive for me, having this gut roll there. For seeing.
Well, Killjoy, you'll be the first one to spot her off in the distance, basically harassing a group of orcs who are just trying to stay warm with a barrel fire. And she keeps flying around them and flicking their ears just to seemingly torment them for shits and giggles. They don't seem aware of her, but they keep, grabbing at their ears like goddamn flies.
I shall inform the others. Like, over there. Pissing off the other people.
Ah, over there. Oh. Oh, no, that is just mean.
Oh, what do you expect? Should we do this nice way, hard way?
Frosty, you've been getting quieter and quieter all night. Now it's very quiet on my end.
Really? That's weird.
Yes, I am.
So yeah, Frax once pointed out where Hoodlum is. We'll head up on there.
I think she likes you the best, Killjoy, which is kind of weird, but maybe you should try talking to her.
Pirate says, this behavior is not helping my opinion on her. Do you really want me to? I mean, I will, but...
want me to do it?
I'm already going to elf girl or fairy girl.
No. You just stay here.
Why do I have to stay here?
Sit. Stay. Get Paul.
I don't think she likes you very much. Not that that seems to be uncommon for her.
If she does not like me, she is stupid.
Arvenia's
Or
going
a
to
taste.
Arvenia's going to state, I don't think she likes anybody.
I think she kind of liked Killjoy.
Oh no. He hates me.
I don't think calling him Creepo is much akin to liking him.
So while everyone else is haggling over who should or shouldn't go, what does Durandal do? Because she is a girl of action. Wow, Durandal is like her first time after being grounded, and she's just like twiddling her thumbs. I think you might need to do a composure there.
Ooh.
That is a real glitch.
Arvenia's going to sigh and follow.
So at the moment, it appears Pirate in astral form. Not that any of you can see that. Well, actually, the dog can see it. Deimos can see it. So Thrax, if he's paying attention, would be able to see a clockwork pixie who's slightly bigger than the other pixie flying over, but only Deimos can see that.
So yeah, Deimos is barking while Thrax is arguing that anyone who doesn't like him is stupid. And eventually Thrax will go, "Well, what is it? Oh, now there's two of them."
Pirate, anything in particular you're doing? Durandal asks the others, where is the pixie?
Over there. Licking the ears of those people around that barrel fire. Pissing them off. What else? Also, Astro Pirate says,
Oh, hold on. Bob, is she manifesting or is she staying in the astral? All right, so astral form pixie girl manifests in front of the orcs, and then says the thing that Frosty says.
mind stopping the Betsy prank? We have to talk about a few things about the job.
The orcs,
Battle.
the orcs, however, all kind of like jostle and jump and turn to look, and a couple of them, back off while the other two kind of like reach into their pockets, looking really stressed out. And then they glance down and they notice the rest of you. and it's dark out, but they are orcs, so they have low light vision. And one of them says, "The fuck is that guy wearing a freaky mask? What about that guy?" And like the dogs, and or well, no, they'd only see the one dog. Yeah, it's like shit, man. Some bad shit's going down, and they just sort of start backing away. Killjoy apparently waves.
Yeah, I probably see them looking at us.
Thrax strikes a pose. Trying to do his best to look very heroic.
And Astro Pirate says, "It's a pixie bothering you. Let some fly. Need to speak with her." Again, real subtle.
So Hood waits until the orcs have left before she makes herself visible and says, "Who the fuck are you? And why are you ruining my fun?" Durandal will say, "They have questions." And she points towards someone.
Someone who is not a clown.
Well,
But it's
she's
not
not
spoken.
saying it. She's just pointing at Killjoy. Pirate says, "Picking on the homeless for fun. It's about the job you sent us on."
And Hood will say, "I don't remember seeing you before."
How far
I don't remember
away
either.
are the Pixie and the Pirate? Can we see Pirate astral form?
She manifests, so now all of you can see her.
How far are they?
A couple of several meters at most.
This does kind of prove earlier point though. Like I said, like, alright, that you are fairy and magical is not that special. Well, now there's two fairies and magical, so indeed not special.
Not the same, big guy. Not the same. Anyway, yes, it seems that the food is not coming towards us, and neither is Pirate. Killjoy will basically let out a sharp whistle and raise his voice a little bit more that they can hear. "Come over here so we don't have to talk and yell."
Perennial's already following over, so.
Yeah, if the
Can
orcs
fly.
have gone, then I just go there.
So only the jester is hanging back. Everyone else is just walking up to the burning barrel.
Well, I am assuming that as he's starting to say that, everybody starts walking there. And it's like, oh, wait,
Well,
they could have flown here. Oh, wow.
Durendal did glitch her self-control.
So Hood just crosses her arms and hovers there, looking very disappointed, glancing from each of you, looking you in the eyes, waiting expectantly.
Can I just stare her very, very intimidating way?
You can make the attempt.
Does my bonus come into play in this or not?
Ah, you want to utilize that aspect of Killjoy, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. What page does it say it's on?
Attitude
Two.
page
No, no,
1.
no. The specific. Oh, right. It wouldn't be on there, would it? Okay. So roll your
157.
willpower plus 2.
Huh?
Roll your willpower plus 2.
Okay. Well, that's... And I mute. I... Can I edge this?
You
Preemption?
can preemptively edge, yes.
No, I shall do. Yep.
Holy shit.
I would have had better chance by just being normal in. Oh.
Well, you still win. She goes invisible and flies the fuck away at full speed. Just before she goes invisible, though, her skin visibly pales, her eyes dilate, and her head rolls like pulls back before she like turns, disappears, and those of you who could just sort of see the shimmer as she just flies away at full speed.
Well, I guess she does not want to talk to us anymore. I think she's just flying away now.
You'll have to first roll to see if you can spot her, Pirate.
And I rolled without actively looking because I wasn't expecting her to turn invisible and fly off full speed. So,
Yeah, for the record, that's what happens when you use that thing.
well, live and learn. Live and learn. Well, at least she will learn.
I assume the jester did keep his pants on.
The jester did, but his mask didn't. And no, it can't be active. Ouch. Edging, okay.
Oh, so fencing works too?
Sorry, what?
You
Arena's
can't make your
doing
astral
the same
signature
thing.
invisible.
No, but Pixie can.
Oh, okay.
Pixies don't use invisibility, they use
concealment.
concealment, yes. And concealment is straight up whatever form you're attempting to spot them by, they apply a penalty.
I'm not
So,
even gonna bother edging. I'm gonna roll shitty.
You're you're one short here, Abobob. So what I'm going to let you do is I'm going to allow you to cast the spell with a -3 modifier to the spell casting roll. So, what force are you casting the spell at? Holy shit! You and
Clearly,
Erennial,
Frosty
birds of a
has-
feather.
Clearly, Frosty has sucked all the luck out of everyone else's rolls.
Oh,
Yes.
So you're straight up burning here, Abo Bob? Okay. So you still have to roll to resist the drain for a Force 9 bind. What'll that be? What page is bind on? Is that in Street Magic or the core rulebook? Oh, okay, that's why I can't find it. I'm looking in the wrong book. Reading Rainbow, it's in a book. Read it. Fuckface. Cha cha cha. That's the way the song goes, right? Right, well, roll to resist your 5 drain. And I'm pretty sure it's physical as well, right? So Pirate's taking 4 physical damage. Okay. And so target Force 9, the target of the bind spells remain visible bands and this is a manipulation spell, right? So um,
If I remember correctly, wasn't there another pixie that we know of who's completely bound and yet still flies around?
that's physical binding. This is magical binding. The specifics of this: the target of the bind spell is constricted by invisible bands of energy that wrap around and impede the movement of limbs. Okay. The target resists with strength plus counterspelling. Every net hit reduces the target's agility by 1. If the agility is reduced to 0, they are bound and unable to move their limbs, specifically. The target may not move or act normally, but may attempt to crawl or hop short distances. The target may still defend and dodge against attacks, but suffers a dice pool. Bind works on a single target. Both spells, such as drones, restrict moving or rotating parts. Yeah, no, it's this may not stop some targets depending on their mode of propulsion. Since Bobob, roll for me one of your magical knowledge, your knowledge skills, something related to magic. Okay. I will allow you to choose of 3 spells here. There we go. So don't bother reading up on them because this is basically going to just be a very quick moment. And let's see. Um, Yes, normally, but I'm basically allowing for you to what's the word I'm like? You're tapping into raw mana and sort of lashing out. If you're willing to double the damage you sustained, I will allow you to assign a number to 3 different spells that I'm putting down right now, and then roll a 1d3. So assign 1, 2, and 3, however you want, to those. You know what? Actually, just to make this slightly in your favor, you can assign 2 digits to one of those, and then 1 digit to the other. So 1 and 2, 3, and 4. If you know what I mean. So with those 3 spells, assign 1, 2, 3, and 4, doubling up on obviously one of those spells. Then roll 1d4, and that's the spell you're going to end up casting instead. However, you'll be doubling the damage you're sustaining. Basically, you're just tapping into raw mana and just shooting out whatever spell you can with the hope that something will stop your target. Like I said, don't bother reading up on these spells. Just based on their names, go ahead and assign the numbers and then roll the 1d4.
And I hope that will be about the last thing we do, because I'm getting really
Yes,
tired and have
yes.
to wake up
Okay.
in 3 hours.
So it'll be mana static that you hit the pixie with. And I do believe she doesn't even get a resistance roll here. And it's still going to be at force 9. And yeah. So basically, it's not what you originally intended to do, but instead you end up casting a spell which just sort of sucks all the magic out of like a what would be the size? It would be like a 9-meter radius. So the pixie she loses her ability to fly. She loses her ability to stay invisible. And she just plummets to the ground and skids a bit and crumbles up a little as she just kind of collapses. No, you don't learn the spell. This is just chaos. This is chaos in practice. So if you choose to learn this spell in the future, you will get a slight bonus to learn it, but you'll have to try that, make that attempt within, I'd say, a couple weeks of this random encounter. But yeah, so Pirate, you basically just yank the mana out of the space where the pixie was flying, causing her to fall out of the sky, become completely visible to everyone, and basically skid against the pavement a little.
Is it possible for Aurelial to have noticed that while she was sensing?
Were you a sensing?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, basically roll a fresh sensing roll to see what you notice.
Can I basically run after her and pick her up and bring her back to us?
Go ahead and roll a running test. And yeah, Aurenial, you basically witnessed the mana just boom, just like a concussion grenade, and the mana just gets pushed away in this dome around the pixie.
Aurelial is going to look at Pyrite and go, "What did you just cast?"
And Frosty, if you want to read for Pirate.
God damn, this girl is a larger pain in my ass than my sister is. That's Pirate.
Okay. And Killjoy, you didn't need to run. She is in so much pain, she's barely able to get on her feet before you get to her.
I didn't want to take any chances. Upsy daisy. We have a little talk. We need
So
to
you're
have.
You're going to try and grab her?
Yeah?
Do an unarmed attack roll.
First. Okay.
She is surprisingly nimble.
Aurelial's like, I'm not
Well,
able to.
let Frosty read it first so that there's context for what you're about to say.
Art says, Eriniel, I am a bit in pain after that. Mind making mind making sure to start rubbing the magic here of my aura. I think she meant scrubbing her aura from magic or something.
Whenever you cast a spell, you leave an astral signature, which I believe is what a Bobob is referring to. Kara,
I
are
wouldn't
you?
know.
Kara, are you awake? Well, Durandal wants action. The killer clown in the jester mask has failed to grab the pixie. You can say that out loud, Frosty.
Well, you were talking as I was starting to. Stop moving! We can do this the easy way or the very painful way.
And yes, Kara, running test and then an unarmed combat test. So, Killjoy, you don't even really notice until she's like right next to you, but Durandel's very quick.
That's surprisingly low considering the amount of dice.
She's going to edge it though.
That's better.
14 hits total. Yeah, she's fucked. you, Durandal, I don't know if you have the martial arts to deal damage when you make a grab attack. I don't know. Do you have that the martial arts for wrestling?
Well, I should have checked that.
I do.
Okay, so Durandal is not going to be killing the pixie by grabbing her, but yes. So shall we pause here for next week, or do you
That
all?
would be much appreciated. Yes.
Yeah.
This is a logical place to end it for this session.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put the pixie in Durandal's hands and put down that she is caught.
Before we end it for the night, Aurenia was going to finish what she was saying to Pirate. Unfortunately, that is not one of the things that I am capable of doing yet.
When it comes to astral signatures, you can always erase your own signature. I just need to double check if you can erase other people's signatures. You two don't share a lodge, so you don't have an advantage for that. Yes, all mages can scrub astral signatures of their own. I'm just checking to see if they can scrub other people's astral signatures.
If it helps, we are both of the Chaos tradition.
That is true. So you do have that advantage sitting for you. But what was that, Killjoy? Who were you talking to?
Durandal? Because she's right there. I mean, I thought the context was clear. Both were trying to grab the pixie, and she managed to do that without problem.
And Durandal will say in reply, "Thank you." Okay. Is scrubbing the astral signature something in the street magic book? We'll look it up for next week. But yes, in the meantime, this mission has gone rather interestingly, I'll say. It doesn't look like you've trusted your Mr. Johnson any, and have literally apprehended your Johnson. Yes.
Sorry,
Honestly-
doesn't buy a whole lot.
Sorry, what was that, Desperado?
$5,000 doesn't buy a whole lot of. Oh, stab me in the back.
Yeah, which is why Frax basically doesn't care for this whole situation. He's kind of like, oh well, if she flies away, then just an evening and maybe $5,000 gone. That's no biggie.